Howdy y'all, it's Kathy from RustPaperScissors, and I'm here today to talk about some of the rusted elements I use in my junk journals. I like to use the rusted metal embellishments. I think they add a cohesiveness to your journal if the theme of your journal is perhaps vintage or grungy or steampunk. I think these really just bring the whole journal together and make it a cohesive themed journal. There's nothing special about using these items. I just wanted to showcase some of the new things that I'm going to have in my shop, and then just how I use some of the other elements, and might give you some ideas. So we're going to talk about this group first, and then I'm going to show you some examples of journals where I've used the embellishments in a journal, and you can see what I did. I'm going to stop the video for just a second and get ready to show you just a few things. The first group that I want to talk about is, I call these rusted clamps. They're kind of like a bulldog clip or a binder clip, but this is what they look like. The thing I like about them is the back of the clip is a little bit longer and it has a hole in the end, so it allows you to add maybe a charm or ribbon, or just, however you might come up with using, that. But I also like it because with the long end, when you stick it into a journal, it sticks out and you can see it from the journal. So that's what I'll show in these other ones. This is just a piece of sari silk that I added to the top, and you could add this to just the top of a page, and then you see it, and then when the book is closed, you see the ribbon. So that's one way to use it. And then I also like to add broken jewelry to the clamp, or as an embellishment. And again, that looks beautiful on the side of a page or hanging off the journal. I don't know, it's not showing up, but it just looks beautiful. And then when your book is opened, you can see it dangling down. So that's another example. And then quickly, this is the last. I think this piece is so beautiful. I hope you can see it. But again, on the side of a page, I think it just looks stunning, on the side of your journal. And so, let's see if I can get it to where it shows. So that's an example. Another type of clip that I have in my shop already are what I call these skeleton binder clips. And it's just, if you had a stack of papers that you perhaps wanted to clamp together, this is a great way to use it. And then I just added, again, a piece of jewelry onto the clamp, and it makes a beautiful dangle and very quick and easy to do. I wanted to talk about when I add a dangle or something to a journal. Since I sell them, I want them to be very secure. And for some reason, I'm not an expert on how to use a jump ring, and I never can get them to close up where they don't, come off or let go. So I use what's called a split ring, and once you open these up and put them on there, they're not coming off. And I'll give you an example. I'll show you in just a moment, but they're not going to come off. So that's why I like to use those. They're very secure. And then another way to use them would be just with a piece of material, and then I added them with a rusted staple. And I, again, will show you on the side of a page here. Just adds, that little bit of texture. And then, or you can add it to the top and it sticks out the top. So those are fun elements to use. Something else that I like to use, on a tag, I like to use these fender washers. They come in two sizes. I have a 3/4 and a 5/8 inch. And I just add them to a page. Maybe I'll secure it with a brad, and just I like that as a hole reinforcer. So I use those. I know other people buy them and use them to rust their pages. I also know you could tie them with string into the center of the journal, and then they could hang down kind of like a little charm. So those are for in my shop. And then a new item that will be in my shop, I believe the correct term of these are turn buttons. They're normally used on the back of a picture frame, but they work great to keep your little envelopes closed. They also work on a page to perhaps keep a flap closed, and you could have some hidden journaling. I'll show you an example of what I'm talking about. But I just wanted to demonstrate how easy it is to use these. And like I say, these will be for sale in my shop. I have the plain ones. They're just rust. I just rust the metal. And then I also have, this one has a little more of a vintage look, I think. It's got a little raised part. Again, I rust those. So I'm going to demonstrate that in just a second. Okay, like I say, I'm going to sell these in my shop, and then I'm going to also include the little rusted brad. So all you do is you take your envelope or your page, and you just find where you want the turn button to, what you want it to cover, and you don't want it to catch the edge of the envelope with this part. So you want to keep it a little bit away. But I just mark it, and then I take a pokey tool and just make a hole. And then it's a little bit easier if you take your brad and you open it up just a little bit, so you can find that when you're trying to open it up inside the envelope, it can be difficult. But if you make your own envelopes, you can add this at the specific time, and you don't have to do it inside. You could add it before you glue the envelope together, is what I'm trying to say. So all I do is just, find the hole and get it in there. And then I'm going to open the prongs. Okay, there we go. And then you close it and you have your envelope closure. So those are real easy and fun to use. And like I say, I'll show you another example of how I use that. So those are the turn buttons. And again, they will be for sale in my shop. Another quick and easy item that I do is I like to make what I call tag booklets. I make them out of guest checks, and I just group maybe 5 together, and I attach them with some rusted staples. And I don't have a problem normally with the rusted staples. I probably will today. Let's see. Isn't it funny, the minute I say it's not going to happen, it happens. But I'm trying to do this at an awkward angle. And so they're just clipped together. Then you can leave them as a booklet, or you can tear them apart, and I call them little tearaway tags. So that's another example of a rusted item. This is, I sell ribbon crimps in my shop, and there's a variety of ways to use these. You can use them to make, what I like to use them to make belly bands and attach the ribbon with these on the top and bottom of the page. I like to use them on the side of a tag as an embellishment. You could do a ribbon, or you could do charms, and we're going to make that charm in just a minute. But a lot of times in my journals, I like to use them as little, these are chandelier crystals. So on the side of a journal, I think it looks pretty to have that little bit of bling. And then at Christmas time, I like to add the jingle bells onto the signature covers and have the jingle bells hang off of a journal. So that's how I use the ribbon crimps, but they're very easy. But I was going to make this little embellishment here that I did. It's with the chain and gears. So I just took a piece of chain and I've added 2 charms on there already. And the last one I'm going to add, and if I didn't lose my, here it is. This is the jump ring, and all I do is I open it up, and sometimes I have to use the pliers, but I think I can do it with my fingers. And I just open it up, and then I'm going to slip this metal embellishment in there and turn it till it's gone all the way around. Okay, now, and then I'm going to add it to the end of the chain here, and we'll have our little tag. So once again, I just open that up, and I take the piece of chain, and I will get it on there. And then it might be easier if I used the, okay, so now I have the three little pieces of the little charms. And then this is the ribbon crimp, and it has a little, if you can see, just a little bit of a place there for you to add either string or a jump ring or these split rings. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to open this up once again and slip it onto the ribbon crimp. And now I have a beautiful, embellishment that, again, you could put it on the side of a tag, or you could use it, however you wanted. But that's those. And then I wanted to talk about the D-ring fasteners. I use these a lot of times as journal closures. If it's a small journal and I just want to tie something real quick, or use it that way. I use them a lot as closures, but they're also great to use on tags. And what I do is you open this up and you slip the material or the tag in between. Hold on just a second. I just open that up. You see where it's opened, and you can slip your paper through there. So that's all I do. And then I just add a brad. And then you can add some, a piece of ribbon or a charm to the top. And then again, I'll use the staple if I can get it to work. But it's pretty easy. But let's see. I'm just doing it at an awkward angle while I'm filming, and it's just not as easy as normal. But let's get it on there. And there we go. And then you have this topper for a tag, or you can fold it down, but it goes off the top. So that's that. Then I just wanted to show the metal tags that I use, and I have some examples in the books of how I use the metal tags. Adding metal embellishments to a item can be a little bit more difficult, and you could glue it down but then it's flat with the paper. So what I like to do is take a piece of fun foam and I will cut it to fit this part of wherever I want it to stop, is what I'm trying to say. I want it to be a tuck spot, so I just want it to hold this. So I only need the foam to be there to stop it from slipping through. And then it gives you enough of a raised element that you can slip your tag or papers, whatever you want, in there, your ephemera, and it will hold it. So what's going to show an example of what I'm talking about was in this journal, I added this rusted truck with the tree on there, and I just love it. But what I did was I added fun foam here along the bottom, and it just sticks it up enough to allow you to put your pages in there. And I'm going to show you an example how I did it. I like the fun foam because it has sticky on one side. So what I did was I took my metal embellishment and I laid it down and I traced around it. And then what I'm going to do when I cut this out, I'm going to cut inside that line, you know, the pencil line. And then it's going to make it small enough that it's going to fit onto that metal embellishment, and it won't show. If I do it right, we'll see. And you may have to trim it up. You know, it's not always exact on how you do it, but it does work. Okay. So what I would do is that I would take my embellishment and I would take my thing, and I think it's going to fit. Let's see. Hopefully, I might have to do some trimming. But all you do is you take the paper off of the sticky backed fun foam. And you could add more glue if you wanted, but I find that it's pretty sticky. And I'm just going to show you how I put it on here. I'm just going to put it in there, and I don't want it to show, so I'm going to put it like that. And like I say, I may have to trim some on the sides, but really it doesn't show. So then what you would do is you would add this to your page. You would glue this part down. You would glue the fun foam to your page. And then that's a way to attach it to the page, but it leaves enough room for you to add your ephemera. So that's something I really like. And I like the fun foam because it steps it up just a little bit. I like the black because you can't really see it. It looks like the shadow. So I think it's a good way to kind of hide your, you know, the fixes that you're doing. And then your paper stops there and it just becomes a great tuck spot. So I wanted to show that. And then I also wanted to show, I sell the numbers in my shop, and I saw somebody else who sells numbers. I believe it's Crafted by Christy, and hers had a little hole in the number. So I thought, well, I bet I could make that with my crocodile. Mine come without the hole, but if you want the hole, all you have to do is take the small side of your crocodile and, you know, get it on your tag where you want it, and then you just punch. I mean, it's very easy and makes a hole. And now you have a hole, and you could use a brad to attach your number. So that's just another idea. And this is just an example of it on the tag and then made as a tuck spot. So that's that. Something else that I sell in my shop are these rusted alligator clips, and I love these. They're great paper clips. They're a great way to add anything into a journal. You can embellish the end of it. I sell them with rhinestones and I also sell them with flat back pearls. But this was an example kind of a hidden paper clip. All I did was I took some corrugated cardboard, and since the cardboard was running this way, I'm going to clip. All I do is find a hole where my alligator clip slips into, and then now it's just, you have a paper clip or attach, and I'll show you can put it into a journal. So all you would do is just, open it up and slip it onto a page, and now you have a beautiful page in your journal. Again, sometimes it shows on the outside, so that's nice, but it also shows when you have it open on that page. So those are fun to make, and especially I love to use the corrugated cardboard, so it makes it a quick, easy fix, and then you could change it. You could take it off if you didn't like it. You don't lose anything because it's not, permanent. So those are some things you could do with the alligator clips. And let's see, that may be all of the demonstration. I'm just going to go through quickly a couple of journals showing things that I use. This was just a jingle bell. My signature closure is the bulldog clip closures. This is just, I'll just flip through. Oh, this is again using an alligator clip, and it's just an item from the Dollar Tree that I stamped Ho on and then made it into a paper clip, and it just sits on your journal, so it looks like that. So, like I said, I'm going to go quickly. There's a lot of paper clips. Let's see if I can get to the next item that I want to show you. I think it's this item. This is one of those baby clamps. Oops. And I just attached it with a rusted jingle bell. And oh, this was again a hidden paper clip kinda. It's again an item I got from the Dollar Tree, and I painted it and added the string to make it look like the Griswold's car, and then I just put the alligator clip on the back, and you attach it to your page, and you have a great little embellishment. Okay, this is an example of a book dart, and I just used it to hold that piece of ephemera. And then this is a rusted prong, metal prong fastener, and I just add pages with that. I also make tags with it and use it to hold the papers on the side. So there's several ways to use the metal prong fasteners. And I think that is it. Oh, this is again another one of those little clamps, and I added a little rusted star. I heat embossed the Holly Jolly Christmas on there, and then this is again the example of a metal embellishment that's used as a tuck spot. And so that was that one. Then this is an example of my most recent journal, and I love this journal. It's got quite the gator mouth, but I did use the ribbon crypts on the bookmark to add the crystals, the chandelier crystals. I used a metal book plate on there. Let's see, we'll go in quickly and see. I did use the ribbon crimps to add the crystals we talked about. This is again a baby clamp. This is an owl clip, and then I have added the little handkerchief there with ribbon crimps. Let's see. This is just a paper clip, and then I added just a little rusted heart. This is again an example of the paper clip, the alligator clip, and then let's see, this is a different type of alligator clip. This one is more solid. You could add rhinestones on there if you wanted. This is just a tag that I made where I used the ribbon crimp. I added this little metal tag with a flower on there, and then I used the rusted staples on the bottom, and I just attach it with this rusted alligator clip. Let's see if I can do it on camera. It's not hard. Okay, and then just some bulb pins where I added some bling. This is an example of the ribbon crimps used as to make a belly band, and it holds the material together, so I like that. And then let's see, I don't know that there's anything else really special. Oh, this is again a kind of hidden paper clip. It's got the flower on the front and the corrugated cardboard on the back, and that just fits over the page. And there you go. And then let's see if there's anything else or special in here. This is just a little clipboard that I added, that I make, and I sell those in my shop, the little mini clipboards. This is the extra ephemera for this journal. So I used this, what is it? Ledger paper as kind of like the book cover, but it's showing the little metal numbers with a brad, just adding to that embellishment. This is, the turn button, and it just slips off, and then you open it up, so it could be some secret journaling, and then you just clip it back. And I got this one too close. There we go. So that's that, and then you open it up. This is using one of the skeleton clips, and I just added some ribbon on the top. This was an example of using just one of the bookmarks, or it's not a bookmark, it's a, I can't think of what it's called, but that's some more examples of the metal embellishments. And then let's see, I've got, this is one of my favorite journals, and it's a little fall journal, and there were several. This was using the ribbon crimp, and I just added some material on the front. I used it as a belly band, and so I like that. Again, the paper clips. Let's see if we can go quickly. This was just a tag where I heat embossed on it a metal tag for Halloween. And then this is just using the alligator clip as a clip for tags. And then that's just another metal tag. Oh, this is one of my favorites. This is a Thanksgiving tag, and it got bent. It's held on there with a book dart, and so it just keeps it in place. See if I can get it back under there. And then I add it to the page, and then it slips down, and it is the page in your journal. So I love that. I love the Three Stooges. Sometimes, our Thanksgiving dinners turn into Three Stooges marathons. So, again, another metal tag. Just see if there's anything special. Again, an alligator clip. This is using the fender washers as a hole reinforcer, and so I just glued that on there. This is, again, a hidden paper clip with the alligator clip. So I put something on both sides on this one, and it just clips over the page. And it's an easy embellishment. And then this is, again, the skeleton clip where I just tied some sari silk, but it adds something to the top and back of the journal. So that's that one, and then I think there's one more, and this is another Christmas journal, but again, it's using the bulldog clip to hold the tassel, the ribbon crimps to do the rusted jingle bells. I'm trying to see if there's anything. Oh, this is just a paper clip, a hidden paper clip. This is just a, if I can get to it. This was just a bookmark and gnome for the holidays, and then I just added a paper clip on the back, and it just clips over the page. And then this is again one of the Griswold cards. This is an example of using the metal prong fasteners to add pages and make a little tag. This is using a ribbon crimp to have, you know, some journaling space or space on a tag. And then let's see, that's another owl clip. I'm trying to not to take your time. Again, a paper clip with the Grinch. This is again an example of a belly band using the velvet ribbon. That is a mini, oh goodness, I'm struggling today. I apologize. A mini clip, binder clip. I don't know what it's called. Sorry. And then this is an example of using a metal embellishment as a tuck spot. And again, I used the fun foam to hold it in place and, you know, give you some room. So that's it. That's just using the metal embellishments, you know, showing you examples. And I would appreciate your comments, what you thought about the video. I would appreciate if you go to my shop and are interested in buying any of the rusted elements that I sell. I would appreciate that. I do appreciate your time. Thank you very much.